Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are currently feuding over the tribal chief position in the Bloodline on WWE SmackDown. Meanwhile, a WWE Hall of Famer believes the Ula Fala will end up around another massive superstar's neck. The WWE superstar in question is none other than The Rock. The final boss acknowledged Reigns as the tribal chief upon his return earlier this year. However, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry thinks that could soon change. While Solo Sikoa explained to Tama Tonga last Friday on SmackDown that whoever wears the Ula Fala, the other family members must acknowledge him, the world's strongest man believes the Bloodline's leadership symbol will end up in the hands of The Rock. Speaking on the Busted Open podcast, Henry claimed that The Rock is the happiest person with the original tribal chief and Sikoa building up the value of the Ula Fala because he will return to claim it. You know who is praying and hoping for the success and the vying of the Ula Fala more than anybody, including Roman Reigns? The Rock. He's like, go on, build it up. Build it up, because it's gonna come a day, Roman, where the tire is gonna meet the road and I'm gonna have the Ula Fala around my neck because I am the tribal chief. He already said it, that he was the business. Come on, Jonathan, that goes beyond I'm the champion. I am the business, he said. From 40:35 to 41:25, the WWE Hall of Famer wants to see a Bloodline member tease stealing the Ula Fala from Solo Sikoa. While Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns battle for the Ula Fala, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry disclosed that he would like to see Tama Tonga tease stealing the necklace from the self-proclaimed tribal chief. On the Busted Open podcast, the world's strongest man suggested a scenario in which Tonga would seem to want to place the Ula Fala around his neck instead of giving it to Sikoa. How about one day we see Tama Tonga get ready to put the Ula Fala on Solo, but then he pulls it and starts looking at it like he's gonna put it on himself. And then Solo grabs his shoulder and he snaps at him, come on, man. Like, let's work it. Let's put even more juice to it, he said. It would be interesting to see how the Bloodline storyline will advance and whether The Rock will return to fight for the Ula Fala himself. The WWE Universe has been buzzing with speculation and intrigue ever since the legend himself, Paul Heyman, dropped a bombshell during a recent interview. In a shocking revelation, Heyman hinted that the next tribal chief of the WWE would not be Roman Reigns or Solo Sikoa, as many had expected. Instead, he suggested that the role might be filled by a massive star who has been waiting in the wings, poised to take the reins of the most powerful faction in WWE history, the Bloodline. For over 3 years, Roman Reigns has dominated WWE as the tribal chief, leading the Bloodline to unprecedented success. With Paul Heyman by his side, Reigns has conquered all challengers, holding the Universal Championship in an iron grip. The inclusion of his younger brother, Solo Sikoa, only added to the dominance of the Bloodline. Fans have often speculated that when Roman eventually steps down, Solo would be the natural successor. However, Heyman's recent comments have turned that assumption on its head. Everyone thinks they know how this story ends, Heyman said with a devilish grin. But the truth is, the real tribal chief hasn't even stepped into the ring yet. The WWE Universe is about to witness something they never saw coming. As the Wrestling World digests Heyman's cryptic words, rumors have run wild. Who could possibly take over the mantle of the tribal chief if not Reigns or Sikoa? The answer, according to several insiders, lies in a star who has been biding his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, none other than the monstrous powerhouse, Braun Strowman. The case for Braun Strowman, known as the Monster among men, has had a storied career in WWE. Standing at 6 feet 8 inches tall and weighing over 385 pounds, Strowman is a force of nature. He has destroyed some of the biggest names in the business and held the Universal Championship, proving that he belongs at the top of the WWE food chain. But despite his impressive resume, Strowman has often found himself on the fringes of the main event scene, never fully realizing his potential as the face of the company. That all might be about to change. Paul Heyman, known for his ability to spot talent and elevate them to new heights, reportedly sees Strowman as the perfect candidate to lead the bloodline into a new era. Strowman's physical dominance, combined with Heyman's strategic mind, could make for an unstoppable force. Furthermore, with Reigns slowly transitioning to a part-time role and Sikoa still finding his footing, Strowman's emergence as the new tribal chief could breathe fresh life into the bloodline storyline. The power struggle within the bloodline has always been about family, power, and loyalty, but it has also been about control. Roman Reigns has maintained his dominance through fear and respect, ensuring that everyone in the bloodline follows his lead. However, with Braun Strowman potentially stepping into the role of tribal chief, the dynamics within the faction would shift dramatically. Strowman's approach to leadership would be vastly different from Reigns. While Roman is calculated, methodical, and manipulative, Strowman is a wrecking ball, blunt, aggressive, and relentless. This contrast in styles could lead to internal conflict, especially with Reigns still in the picture. Imagine a scenario where Roman, now taking on a mentor role, clashes with Strowman over how to lead the bloodline. The tension between the two would be palpable, with Solo Sikoa caught in the middle, forced to choose sides. This power struggle could culminate in an epic showdown between Reigns and Strowman, with the winner truly cementing their status as the tribal chief. The stakes would be higher than ever, not just for the Universal Championship, but for the very soul of the bloodline. The return of the Usos. No discussion about the bloodline is complete without mentioning the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, who have been integral parts of the faction's success. After their dramatic fallout with Roman Reigns earlier this year, the Usos have been on their own path, but the possibility of them returning to the fold under a new tribal chief could change everything. If Strowman does become the tribal chief, how would the Usos react? Would they pledge their loyalty to the monster among men, or would they resist, seeking to keep the bloodline true to its original vision? The potential for storytelling here is immense. The Usos, known for their deep family ties, could be torn between honoring their cousin Roman and embracing a new, more brutal leader in Strowman. This internal conflict could lead to some of the most emotionally charged segments in WWE history, as the Usos grapple with their identities and loyalties. The legend speaks. Paul Heyman's words carry weight in the WWE universe, and his endorsement of Braun Strowman as the next tribal chief has sent shockwaves through the industry. As one of the most influential figures in professional wrestling, Heyman's opinion is not to be taken lightly. He has guided the careers of some of the greatest superstars in history, from Brock Lesnar to Roman Reigns, and if he believes that Strowman is ready to take up the mantle, it's hard to argue against him. Braun Strowman is more than just a monster, Heyman continued in his interview. He is a leader. He is a force of nature that cannot be contained. Under my guidance, he will not just be the tribal chief, he will be the most dominant champion this industry has ever seen. The future of WWE. As the WWE Universe braces for what could be the most significant shift in the company's history, all eyes are on Braun Strowman. If he does become the next tribal chief, it will mark a new era for the bloodline and for WWE as a whole. The question now is not if, but when Strowman will step up to claim his throne. And when he does, the entire WWE landscape will change forever. One thing is certain, with Paul Heyman's backing and the full might of the bloodline behind him, Braun Strowman could become the most feared and respected leader in WWE history. The reign of the monster among men as the tribal chief is not just a possibility, it's a destiny waiting to be fulfilled.